So why do I actually think that the earth is flat? Am I just making a bunch of stuff up just to get your attention and get views? Or is there legitimacy to what I'm saying? So why don't we take a real deep dive into the situation? So this is supposedly the most recent picture of the globe from outer space. Notice how they have stars in the background for once. That's pretty nice. But this is a picture of the globe from, I'm not sure, like 20 something years ago. Look at the size of the US. Now look at the size of the US of the picture of the globe the very next year. Both were taken by NASA. The United States is literally twice the size in the picture previous. How is that even possible? And then if you look at the picture of the globe, it has copied and pasted clouds. So was the globe made in Photoshop? Yeah, it literally was. And then we have this picture of the moon. Apparently that's the dark side of the moon. And then the earth behind it. Now pay attention to the size. This is a picture of the earth from the moon, being on the moon. So how's the earth drastically smaller when you're on the moon? But if you're like 50,000 miles away from the moon, then the earth is drastically larger. You see, when you really try to put all of this into context, you understand that they're completely lying to our faces. And it's so unbelievably obvious. Now, the lunar module looks absolutely ridiculous. And here's a replica of someone looking around inside a lunar module. A replica lunar module. It looks ridiculous. It looks like a kid's toy. You really mean to tell me that those buttons have like real things that they do? They need 10,000 buttons to do something like this? And it's really crazy because not only does this look extremely fake of the lunar module blasting off from the moon, but who was recording the lunar module taking off? We didn't have fully autonomous cameras and drones like we do today. So who was recording it? Who got left on the moon? This is what I'm saying. All you have to do is use your mind. But the thing is, they implanted this false reality on your subconscious mind. Why do you think they call it Apollo 11? Well, 11 in numerology is very, very symbolic. You know, like the Twin Towers, the two pillars. It's symbolic for whatever happens in the material world, one pillar, will happen in the non-material, the subconscious world, the other pillar. So whatever happens in the internal is reflected in the external. Whatever happens in the external is reflected in the internal. Well, the moon is on one pillar and the sun is on the other. The sun rules the conscious masculine. The moon rules the subconscious and feminine. So symbolically speaking, the US government implanted their own reality into your subconscious mind so that they can govern and control and manipulate your conscious behaviors. That's why they did the moon landing. It's all symbolic for capturing your imagination, capturing your mind, and limiting your ability to expand your consciousness. If the earth is a globe, then you would literally have to be at eye level, sitting at eye level with the water in order to have a perfectly flat horizon, which means that you wouldn't be able to see the Chicago skyline, which I just showed you, from roughly 40 miles away across Lake Michigan. It would be under 8 inches per mile squared of curvature, which means that every mile it would be exponentially curving more. And if we were on a globe and we were constructing buildings on a globe, then the buildings would have to be level with the floor beneath it. Well, if we're on a globe, it's constantly curving like this. So the buildings across the water, they would also be leaning back if you were able to see them at all. Are you keeping up with what I'm saying here? There's no possible way that the Earth can be a globe if there's no detectable curvature on any body of water ever, and there's no detectable curvature no matter how high we go. The horizon is not a physical horizon. It is literally just how far our eyes can see. And how come we've had so many people circumnavigate the globe east to west, but we don't have any proof, any evidence, no success when it comes to circumnavigating the globe north to south? Well, that's because it's literally impossible. You would have to be flying over Antarctica. Well, no one can go to Antarctica, first of all, but second of all, you would just be leaving the magnetic field. Because on a flat Earth model, north is the center. So if you're circumnavigating east to west, you're just going in circles. And that's what the word circumnavigation means. So you can't circumnavigate north to south because north is the center, south is leaving the magnetic field on the flat plane that we're on, and beyond the Arctic Circle or the Antarctic Circle or the ice wall, whatever you want to call it, beyond that, who knows what's beyond it? But I do know that Antarctica has an average elevation of over 8,000 feet above sea level. It's literally holding all of the waters in. And what's really weird is no country, no nation on Earth has a picture of the shape of the country or nation as its flag, but Antarctica does. And of all the treaties that have been broken throughout human history, the Antarctic Treaty is the most important one that every government around the world just unanimously agrees on. We have that whole thing going on with Greenland. Why not Antarctica? Weird. And you've seen crepuscular light rays, right? Where it literally looks like the sun's light is like peeking through the clouds at this specific angle. Well, that means that the sun is literally small and local, much smaller than the Earth, and moving overhead. Because if we had a sun that was 93 million miles away, all of the light rays coming to Earth would be perfectly parallel. And that very small difference with the Earth's wobble would not cause the seasons. And then if you look at the moon, it's clearly giving off its own light source. There's no possible way that it could be waxing and waning in a 28-day cycle, and the moon's light could be a few degrees colder Fahrenheit on average than the atmosphere around it, meaning the moon is giving off its own source of cold light. There's no possible way that that would be happening if we were on a globe and the moon was a rock reflecting the sun's light. Like, this model right here makes literally no sense. All you have to do is investigate. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I just gave y'all the tip of the iceberg. But if you can observe that there's no curvature and that the sun and moon appear to be the same size and they appear to be moving across the sky, then that's probably what they're doing, guys. That's probably the thing that's actually happening. But of course, the Earth is a globe and I made everything up. This video was for entertainment purposes only.